Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the Leadership Legacy Podcast. My name is Buki, and today is going to be another fantastic day with us on this podcast. And my co-host is here. Ify is saying hi.
Hello, you're welcome to the Leadership Legacy Podcast. It's a great episode to be on, and you're welcome. I have the privilege of introducing our next guest, or our guest today. He's a man of rare leadership balance between decades of business acumen and social stewardship. Mr. Seyi Adewunmi is the president of Lagos Country Club, one of Nigeria's most prestigious social institutions, and the managing director of KK Leasing Limited. His leadership story merges governance, service, and the pursuit of excellence, both in the private sector and the civic space. Mr. Adewunmi, you're welcome to the leadership room.
Thank you very much, Ify. Thank you. Thank you, Buki.
You're welcome,
Thank you very
sir.
much.
Thank you for coming. So, sir, we want to go on this journey with you because you have come from transport and leasing business, and now you're into social leadership, right? So, what originally drew you into leadership roles that are outside business?
Thank you very much. My name is Seyi Adewunmi. A transport and logistics expert, especially in the third-party logistics, provision, meaning that we provide, we maintain, and we manage vehicles for corporate organizations. We have actually transited from KK Leasing to One Alpha Group based on our experience of COVID. We realized that, we weren't in the retail arm of our industry. And of course, shortly after COVID, a lot of companies that were operating, directly with the retailers were able to bounce back very early. So therefore, we have now transited, from not just leasing, but into movement of precious goods and cargo.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So I am still there. I have not left. But on the side, I'm also serving currently as the president of Lagos Country Club.
Wow.
Yeah. What moved me to that service is that I believe that at every point in time, you should be able to give back to the society. Where you see anything that is not right, it is not enough to sit back and complain. It is actually best to get involved and see how you can add value. So that's how I got into service.
Wow, thank you. Wow, get involved. Get involved. That is one thing that we need to keep drumming to people's ears, especially in this side of the world, where most elites don't get involved but complain, and we see things get bad. So that is quite inspirational, right?
He also said adding value. So it's not just about getting involved. It's also about, when I get involved, what value am I bringing?
Yes.
What changes am I coming with? What ideas am I bringing to, leave my impacts? We also learned recently, leaving our footprints in the sands of time.
Yeah.
So that's excellent. Would you say, for example, that this has been a steady hallmark of your journey? For example, from the companies you've managed, the impacts you've made, they all align with good governance. But beyond the buzzword, what does governance or good governance look like to you?
Okay. Good governance to me means that you are doing the right thing at the right time. Good governance is not about government. It's also about the followers. If you have a good government and you have a bad follower, then that government will ultimately fail. But if you have a good government that is leading by example, that is doing what it's supposed to do at the right time, there will be a lot of emulation because it's contagious. And then people will be able to latch in on it.
I love that word, contagious. Means we can impact the wider society, even from the small corners of our office, when we're doing the right thing at the right time. Thank you for that nugget.
Okay, so I want to ask about your service, right? And it is a strong aspect of life that some people are not willing to get into. Anything that does not reward them directly, that you have to just do for humanity or for the community.
Absolutely.
You know, many people are, everybody is asking what's in it,
What's
for,
in it
me?
for me?
Right,
Syndrome.
yes. So as a leader and with your years of service in such volunteer roles and volunteer organizations, what lessons have you learned in terms of respect, emotional intelligence, you know, to be able to carry people along, even people that, you know, they are not paid to, and they, but at times, you know, they will get weary and all that. How have you been able to move your team in that regard?
All right, thank you very much. For me, the principle of leadership, especially, in the current circumstance that I find myself, is very simple. The first person to lead is yourself. If you cannot lead yourself, then you will not be able to lead other people. If you cannot lead yourself, you will just find out that, okay, you eat your dessert before the main meal. So you have to be disciplined yourself. There are a lot of people watching. There are a lot of unspoken words. There are a lot of observation. There are a lot of, people being able to dissect your speech or what you say with your mouth versus what you act. So all of that you need to be able to manage, first of all, by leading yourself and make sure that whatever you say, and whatever you do matches your character. Otherwise, if you try to package it in any way, you will see that, okay, they are not in tandem, and you then give yourself away. So one of the things that has helped me is that I do a self-assessment. I do a health check of myself. Who exactly am I? I won't lie to myself. Who exactly are you? What can you do and what can you not do? What is your tolerance level? How big are you on integrity? So I did all of that self-assessment. I found out that, okay, yes, I think by all standard, I am by far above average, and I should be able to put myself forward for service.
Can we clap right here?
Yes, we need to clap.
Yes.
It actually
Yes,
deserves a
yes,
clap,
yes.
because that was amazing.
Yes.
So the idea of self-leadership, that's huge, and that's what many people lack. Many people do not do that self-evaluation, but they just jump into leadership and believe that they can make it work somehow. But that's amazing. Thank you, sir.
Thank
for
you.
sharing
And
that.
on that personal leadership or self-leadership, it's something I can attest to, because I have the privilege of having worked with him closely in the committees of the Lagos Country Club, where he is the president. And our club is great today, I must say, because of his leadership. And this is a club that has existed for more than 7 decades.
76 years.
Yes, 76 years of existence. And I know the reform and the transformation that has happened under the leadership of Mr. Seyi Adewunmi. But the question around that institution is, there's a balance between modernization and then keeping the old institutions in place, the old traditions. people will often say, this is how we have always done things. And then there's a pushback. How do you balance that?
It's very easy to balance, really. It's very easy because even if the whole world changes, there are some things that will never change. For example, whether you look at the older people or the younger people, they like to live good life. There's nobody that I have seen that does not like to live good life. You know, everybody, whether older generation or newer generation, they will wear clothes, and they like to wear quality clothes or expensive clothes. Whether older or younger, they will drive cars, and they like to drive good cars or otherwise. So all of those things, are very, very consistent. Everybody likes to have cash, to hold cash. You want to be wealthy. At least you want to be comfortable. You want to be able to feed yourself. You cannot say because you are older, you don't need food again, or because you are young, you don't want to eat again. It is what you eat that is different. But eating is consistent. So drawing from that, we should know that the only thing that can change is the platform or the medium, of this change. For example, I remember while I was growing up, my father used to have, a record player that they used to wind, with hand. Yes. What does that record player does? Play music, isn't it? Today I can play from my phone. It's still music. What was my father doing with that music? He was enjoying himself, having a good time and all of that. Today, if I'm playing on my phone, it is still the same thing. So all of those things will never change. All we need to do is to learn from the past. And the way to learn from the past is to sit around the elderly ones. What are your regrets? What are your achievements? Which mistake did you make? What are the opportunities that you harnessed? Then you can now apply it back into today and say that, okay, record player, for example, is not going to work in today. I mean, they will literally laugh at you.
Yes.
But playing music from my phone, yes, that can work. Can I then amplify that phone, maybe with some devices so that everybody, maybe Bluetooth, send it to a speaker and all of that. But at the end of the day, it is still the same music. So basically, it's just for us to take from our history, to take from our past, to take from our heritage, and then bring it to the future. The way we do it today may be different, but it's exactly the same thing that we are doing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's deep
That's-
right there. Our history, our
Very
heritage.
deep. Yes.
And bring it into the
Thank
future.
you, sir. Now I want to take us into crisis management. Right? So leading a legacy institution, it means you will manage conflicts along the way, controversies and different things will come up. How do you stay calm and credible when the heat rises?
All right. Thank you very much. And in the recent past, I've had a lot of instances whereby I feel like busting, I feel like getting angry, I feel like punching people, I feel like, whatever. But I have also learned to surround myself with people who will make up for me around my weakness. In other words, I have staffed myself with some people. So if I know that, okay, I need to maybe make presentation, for example, and I'm not good at it, I can go to Ife, who is excellent in terms of, presentation skills, and she will help me, I may not be able to crunch numbers or figures and all of that, I know I'm very bad at that, but I can go to Bookie, to say, please help me, with this summation or whatever, But there are some things that I cannot come to you for, which is my attitude. Every skill, everything you can learn, but your own attitude. I've not seen a school where they say, okay, this person has a bad attitude. Let's send this person to this school to go and learn, positive attitude. No. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So over time, I have had to work on my own attitude. I've had to work on my temperament. I have had to be able to read in between the line when people just want to draw you out. They just want to hear you so that they can be able to hold one statement, that you have said, and I have, in most cases, learned to say thank you, and that's it. There are situations where we are in a room like this, and I know that room is going to come with a lot of heated argument. Sometimes I go into such a room with a bottle of water as a coping mechanism. And when I see that, okay, that argument is coming up and is becoming heated, I just take my bottle of water, I just put some water in my mouth, and I will refuse to swallow it.
Wow.
So that I will not be able to talk, with water. So all of those kind of coping mechanisms, are the things that I've had to learn over time. But bottom line is that you should be able to do a self-assessment of yourself. If you have anger issues, you should be able to tell yourself that I know that I am quick to anger, and find a way to manage it.
Wow. Awesome. That is deep. These are guys, I hope you are learning. This our guest today is just a person that has developed himself, thoughts and is still relearning, teaching himself all over again. That style of putting water in your mouth is a classic.
It's a game
one.
changer. For me, that's I serve on some very difficult boards. I think that I will go with like a pack of water to be drinking and keeping in my mouth. Yes, I think that's one takeaway for me today.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you for that. So next time when you're addressing us in the club, I'll be looking. Is he holding water?
But that's not the only. I mean, there are so many ways. I just gave that example.
Yes.
Sometimes, when I'm going into such meetings, and I know that I will always go with somebody who is my confidant, who knows me in and out. And that person will sit in a corner that I will be able to see the person eyeball to eyeball, and once that person says, I know that, okay, I'm already going offline. I'll find a way to manage myself and calm. Once that person, signals to me and say, okay, yes, preach it, I know that, okay, I'm probably making. If it is body language, the person probably will tell me that, okay, I know that, okay, I need to adjust, my body language and all of that. So there are a couple of coping mechanisms that you can actually adopt for yourself. If that person stands up and says that, okay, this meeting has to end, I know that I have to stand up.
Wow. Okay. That's like an accountability partner, having someone who's looking out for your interests.
Oh, yeah.
Helping you manage manage yourself in a public place. Excellent. Thank you for that. And so we'll just take this final question on reflection, personal reflection on leadership. What has it cost you personally, and how has it rewarded you as well, making it a journey that is worth it and an encouragement for others to aspire to? So you'll be speaking to our audience essentially to invite them to undertake leadership aspirations for not just the rewards, but also for the benefits to society that it involves.
Honestly, this is a very emotional question that you have asked me. and I will answer it from the integrity of my heart. This has cost me everything. And when I say everything, I am not referring to naira and kobo or any form of cash. The things that I have lost, in the event, during this time, are things I can never buy back with money. For example, way back, as young as I was, maybe like 10, 18, 20 years old, I already had in my mind that there is a particular way that I want to celebrate my 60th birthday. But here I was in the middle of the crisis and I turned 60. So I couldn't in any way achieve that objective, that dream that I've always had. Not because I couldn't afford it, not because it's something out of the blues, but the circumstances surrounding, my life at that time will not support the type of celebration that I wanted. And why am I saying this? I wanted to be with my family, and we had planned that, okay, we're going to be somewhere, and we're going to have to do, a family health check so that we can take stock, where are we going to, and all of that. But all of that did not happen, simply because on the day of my birthday, I was at EFCC. Yeah. Again, another example was that my daughter, by the grace of God, had told me that anytime she's going to college, I am the one that is going to drive her into the college. So at the time that she was going to the college, I was not available to drive her as she wanted. So valuable moments that I can never recover, happened within that period. But guess what? God will always be God. It is said, that when people say that there's casting down, your own song will be that there's lifting up. During that period, in my business, we did numbers that we have never done before. Honestly, I didn't spend 1/4 of the time that I used to spend in the office, at that time. Because I was always either at the club, in one meeting or the other, strategizing, meetings upon meetings, try and all of that. I didn't have time, for my business. But we did numbers that we have never done before, So that's one benefit. Two is that I am also happy that I'm very healthy. In between, I was always doing, my medical check, and every time I do that, I was always getting away with health check, a clean bill of health. So also, another benefit was that while I was not available for my daughter to take her to school or to guide her around that time, she got a scholarship that was going to take us through the entire time that she was. Even if I was available, I probably would not have been able to afford, that. And it's one of the best schools in the world. So if I go ahead to count, my blessings, I will say that, okay, yes, on the long run, God has indeed been faithful. At every point in time, I did not try as much as possible to bend, the rules, or try as much as possible to compromise in terms of principle, or try to adjust, my work ethics, because I have always known that in life, you will be faced with crossroads. And when you are faced with crossroads, you have only two options. Either to choose to compromise, or to choose your character. So at every point in time, I have always chosen my character over compromise. And it has always helped me. Today, I have people that we can cut deals, and just by handshake, is that a deal? Yes, it is a deal. Whereas today, there are people that you will sign contract with, and the moment you step out of the room, they are looking for exit clauses in that contract. So I will choose my character again and again and again because I have experienced and I have seen the benefit of being who you are. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Wow, this is really about self-leadership. This is huge. And considering the emotional moments that you have missed, but there's always a reward for service.
Absolutely.
That's the encouragement that you have brought to us today. That there's always a reward, despite the crises and turbulence and everything that would come. There's a reward. There's a reward. That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so insightful. Yes. Insightful. Ify, what do you think about this?
I think it's a rare privilege, really, for me to be with my president and to share these emotional conversations, which he has never had with me in the club, but I know.
This is the place to really let it out. So that
he can share it to the world. Because a lot more of us need to hear this story about leadership being sacrificial.
Yeah.
And how ultimately God will honor his word over us. Because I said this recently, because when I was elected recently as the global president of my alumni, everybody said it's a thankless job. I said, no, there's a Father in heaven who will thank us for the reforms that we're going to bring to this institution or to this association. So I thank you, Mr. Seyi Adewunmi, for this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conversation, for the insights and the nuggets that you have planted in us, and in the world, really, as we push this podcast to youths and people all over the world. So thank you for your leadership in the corporation and in the social sector. And the Lord will continue to honor you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
So thank you, everyone. I'm sure that this one was another banger, right? Wow. Emotional, everything combined. But I will cap it all to say, just to use one word, self-leadership. It shows in everything that he has said. So thank you all. I hope you have learned, and I trust that you are getting better. We meet again at the next episode. Just watch out. Leadership Legacy. Watch out for us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. Make sure you like us and follow all our pages across all social media platforms. And surely you will keep learning. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.